My name is Imani Mark. I'm a first year psychology student from upstate New York. I do think that black media has played a large role in our relationships, whether that be in a positive notation or a black or okay. Black negative. It's like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I sort of see a trend. It all really transcribes into dividing black women and painting black women as inferior, masculine, and all these fear in relationships would have to be the fear of being abandoned and the fear of past perceptions of what a woman is and what a black woman is.
Hi, my name is Trenton Noel. I am a second year honors chemistry and Spanish double major from Little Rock, Arkansas. In both positive and negative ways, I think that the media has given us a few good examples of what healthy relationships look like, but then also some pretty negative ones. In recent years, I would definitely say more negative than positive. Plays an important role. I think being able to see yourself in the media is always important, and we're human, it's only natural to compare yourself to what you're seeing online.
Okay, hi, my name is Audrey Hunter. I'm a freshman psychology major, human development minor on the pre-med track from Chicago, Illinois. I think okay, I'll tell a story. So my mom, she's from Ghana, and a lot of the shows that she watched or movies she watched when she was younger all were white people, and like their view of relationships, and how like she watched like The Notebook growing up, and like The Sound of Music, and those type of like romance movies where it's just white people, and like the way they would portray romance would be completely different than it really is. And so when she came to America and like met my dad and stuff, that was her expectation of love. She thought that that the way that the media portrayed like the guy chasing the girl, or the guy knowing everything, or things like that, like she thought that that's how all relationships were going to be, even though that's not. So I think having black people in media, and then having realistic expectations of love, I think media really shows a false image of how relationships are going to be and how love is going to go. So that can really that a lot of the time black media shows like black relationships to be all about cheating and lying and things like that. So it gives students or young people the idea that that's how relationships are going to be. Most of the time you see like black people are getting divorced, or like it's just a single parent household, like the dad leaves and stuff like that. So social media has definitely given the idea that that's how all black relationships are, and that's how your relationship could end up. So it puts a lot of stress on young people looking to get into relationships. Game, that show, a lot of it is like cheating and lying, and it always ends up being like the girl ends up going back even though the guy cheated and did a bunch of dirty things. So it's like portraying that like a guy can treat you like shit and you could still go back. You should still go back to them. And like in Insecure, the last episode of the season, like you saw Issa, she ended up going back to Lawrence and ended up being like a stepmom and things like that. So it's like a lot of black media glorifies the idea of like, okay, a man will cheat on you, a man will do this, but what did you do wrong and you should go back and things like that. No matter how many times they lied to you, instead of prioritizing yourself first. And then I know some parts of media also like to portray like the strong black woman and how like you being like the CEO or being like having a high power in a company or anything like that, or being high in your position, being a doctor, a lawyer, things like that. Guys aren't going to want you for that. They're going to think you're too strong or too independent. You have too much money. They don't make as much money as you and things like that. But that should not be the case. Like a woman can be strong and power and do everything she wants to do and have someone that loves her. Example, Kamala.
Comes to representing relationships and love?
I think specifically like people that create like films and people that post on social media a lot, it's important for them to remember that young people are looking at their stuff. I feel like a lot of the times young kids are the ones that are going to see this stuff and really internalize it, and they're going to run with that and think that that's how relationships are supposed to be. It's your responsibility to realize like kids now with the use of technology have access to anything, just with the click of a button. So you have to be aware that what you're putting out there will be seen by young children. That can really influence how they go about relationships.